Apparently, you have not heard anything that I have said. Who knew? Who knew? But as we say, you just have to roll with the punches and keep it moving. So, the one thing I want to let you know tonight is we have something special for you. So, I want you to lean in, listen in, stay tuned for the whole show. I will not keep you here long, but you're going to want to hear every single thing that we are going to talk about tonight, because tonight we're talking about 5 tips for a better new year. Hear it one more time. 5 tips for a better new year. Why do we need 5 tips? Who would I be to just tell you one thing? Number two, who would I be if I didn't tell you something practical? Because, I tell you all the time, sometimes you go and you hear someone talk and they say all this stuff and you feel all great, you feel energized, and then you don't know what to do. I don't want a situation where you're like, I can conquer the world. And then you're like, now what? We're going to tell you the what's today. The next thing is because you deserve it. You deserve everything. You deserve a better year. You deserve a better life. You deserve to be the best you could be. And that's why all my stuff is better, because we are working to get better. If you don't know me, I am your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard trained, double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I am extremely irrationally passionate about helping you be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry practice, my books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my corporate speaking, and my podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka. I do all of that to help people like you that pour into everyone else. You show up for work, you show up for your friends, you show up for your family, you show up for your community. And oftentimes you don't show up for yourself. You show up for everyone else more than you show up for yourself. And it's not uncommon that you start looking around the corner like, hey, who's showing up for me? And you're like, I don't know who's showing up for me. So I do this to put you back in your life. Got a couple of housekeeping tips on the front end. First thing is, let's see. If you know someone that needs this, please share. Sharing is caring. If you need someone, I can't talk. If you know someone else that needs this, feel free to tag them. There's a little tag button at the bottom. Just hit tag. The last thing, if you're watching it later, put hashtag replay in the comments. Just let me know you're here. As you sign on, let me know where you are listening from. And happy 2023. It seems weird to say 23. Does it seem weird to anybody else to say 23? I ain't ready. I am 100% not ready to be saying 20 to the 2023, but we still got to make this happen. So you might be wondering what inspired me. So let me tell you a little story. I have had a lot of quality time with myself. As we talked about, I'm someone that naturally is a huge extrovert, but during COVID kind of turned into an introvert. And now I'm about an ambivert. But I've done some quality time with myself thinking, Dr. Ericka, what had you stressed out in 2022? And how are you not going to do that? And when I was having these thoughts and having this quality time with myself, I was thinking, self, wouldn't it be great to share this with other people? So that's what you're getting today. We're going to give some practical tips and some things. Now, the first thing I want to start off with is, let's start with a quote. And let's get rid of this because this is way too much. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Okay, y'all? Can the church say amen? This is Carol Bard coming at you. Let me say that one more time because this one really touches my soul. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. This is important. We're talking about New Year. Now, I know there's someone out there going to talk about how this is artificial construction of when the year starts. At this point, I'm not invested in lunar year, regular year, what year. But I just think really for convenience sake, this is a nice time to be able to start thinking about how you want your next year of life to be. You also know I talk about kind of sometimes looking at your life like a business and reassessing everything every quarter. So we're talking about this because you have the power. We can't fix what already happened, but we can impact what happens to us now and in the future. And I want you to be at the best space to start this year off right. So let's get to it. What is number one? Number one is believe it can be a better year. They always say you got to believe it to achieve it. there's something powerful about believing it can be better. Because sometimes if we don't believe, it ends up being a self-fulfilling prophecy, like the law of attraction. If you believe things can get better, they will. If you believe they're going to suck, the universe will give you what you ask for and it will suck. So the first step to make this a better year is to believe it has the potential to be better. The next is you need to actually be intentional. we I sometimes talk about happy accidents. Happy accidents are great, but you usually don't have happy accidents that will transform your life. Transforming your life takes action and work, which is why it's important to actually be intentional and not just hope things get better. I want you to be able to feel confident you're going to have a better year. And the way you feel confident you're going to have a better year is you're going to be intentional about it. You're not going to go, I hope I have a better year. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a better year. You're going to be able to say, I know it's going to be a better year because you believe it. And you're going to be intentional to take the steps to make it happen. After you're intentional, it's not good enough just to say, I'm going to do some things and intentionally make it better. I want you to actually plan. So, plan. So, we're going to talk about how to plan in a moment. And when you plan, write it down. Now, some people are going to be old school pen and paper. I'm going to sit here at the desk. I got a big old pad of paper that I write on. But I also type stuff in notes. I got an iPad. I have a whole bunch of devices. So when I say write it down, it's not literal. Some people they're going to put it in a notebook. Some are going to put it in a journal. Some are going to put it on a pad of paper. Some will put it on like a remarkable pad. I have one of those too. I love the electronics, and some are going to write on their computer, their tablet, or their phone. But somehow document it, because that makes it, number one, it makes it feel more real. Number two, you're going to think more through the steps if you're actually writing it down. Number three, you can refer back to your plan. It's hard to refer back to a plan that's somewhere in your head and you have all the things going on. It's easy to get really busy and not remember what you even told yourself. And number five, oh my God, I have way too many devices out, is you're going to utilize accountability partners. Okay. So we talked about the steps. Now let's practically talk about some things you can do when you're doing kind of laying out this plan. First thing is, let's talk about your health. The reason we're talking about your health is important. Your health is going to set the stage for how your year is, how you're going to feel, the energy you're going to have, the emotional, mental, and physical energy you're going to have, how you show up in relationships. All this stuff is related here. And I love how this is supposed to be spiritual health, and I put social health in my mind. I was thinking about the socials. So I want you to write down, and you can do it. I'm good for writing things like making squares on a page, but you can do it as a list. But you put down mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. Pardon the that I was thinking about something subconsciously, but social health, and put those down, and then list what are the things you're going to do to actually address those. So what are you going to do to address your mental health and that? What are you going to do to address your physical health? What are you going to do to address your spiritual health? I almost can't even believe it that they looked at the rate of people that got yearly checkups that had insurance, and it was only 50%. So like 50% of folks with insurance were getting a physical. And there's things that come up with basic health maintenance. And one of the things we've all fought so hard for is preventive health, so that you're not trying to deal with illness, is that you have to make time to do these things. With your physical health, you're going to want to get a physical. If you're a woman, you want a well woman exam, you want your mammogram, you need your pap smears. Depending on your age, you're going to need a colonoscopy. People should get skin checks from the dermatologist. There are just numerous things that you're going to do for your physical health. And it may even impact, you may be looking at ways you're going to eat better and have more exercise, but you'll do those. And then for your mental health, it may be getting a therapist. For me, I have a therapist and a mindset coach. There are numerous things you can do for your mental health, and I want you to think about it and write it down. And then for your spiritual health, how are you going to connect spiritually? And the reason I want to split those up is on one hand, I want you to actually have some intentional time thinking about your health. Because one of the things that happens in adulthood, and one of the reasons we do this is because we talk about how it's so easy to show up as a caregiver and to show up as a doer and to show up as a worker and to spend so much time pouring into others and also pouring into your work and your profession, but not giving yourself that same space. And the busyness that tends to happen when we're wrapped up in productivity, be it the productivity of our families or the productivity of work, is that there's not much thought put into taking care of yourself. And I want you to intentionally make space for your health and intentionally think about these things, because the other thing is you need a physical, you need all these things. At some point, someone's gotta, either you have a family member, an assistant, or you gotta call and make these appointments. Well, if you're not thinking about it, you're not gonna make the appointments. And the other thing we're seeing is people are starting to utilize the health system differently. As the days of saying, I want to get a physical tomorrow, unless you have a concierge practitioner, you may not be getting it immediately. So by planning ahead, you're not going to get this point where you need something and someone's not there. The other thing I want to also remind you is with physical health, it's nuts that they found in 2019 that only 66% of Americans went to the dentist. Now, not only is it great for good breath and not to have your teeth falling out, is your oral health is also related to heart health. So it's just being intentional about making space for these things. And the only way to make space for them is to actually think about them. The next thing is, I'm not saying that we're only focused on health. I want you to put a line down the middle of a piece of paper and make two lists on whatever document you use, and list personal goals and professional goals, and just list 1 to 3, because you can go down the rabbit hole, and I don't want you to go totally down the rabbit hole. Now list those 1 to 3 goals. Now under them, we're going to go back to the better 7. If you don't remember, the better 7 are those 7 areas that are essential for you to be better, do better, and live better and have that better life. Now, you might notice down at the bottom to the right is support. It's listed number 4. They're not really in a real order, but support. And I want to focus on support, because the thing is we can start listing a million tasks for us to do. Where I want you to start is with support. So when you've listed those 1 to 3 personal goals, those 1 to 3 professional goals, list how you can utilize support so you actually have help doing those goals. So what are tasks that are important for those goals that can be delegated? What are things that maybe you need to hire someone for to do? What are things that people that work for you can actually do to take those off your plate? How can you utilize friends and family to support you with those goals? And it may be them just listening to what you're doing, bouncing ideas off, maybe having them call you like accountability. But I want you to focus on how you can utilize support and getting those goals done, because a lot of times we start getting tied down in all the steps and tasks, but don't think about how we can actually get help to get those done. So that's what I got for you. If you're coming in late, welcome again to Growth Groove with Dr. Ericka. This is the first episode for the new year. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did the little self-care thing and took 2 weeks off from broadcasting. I'm happy that you're with me now. Quick housekeeping: if you're watching it and you know someone that needs this, please tag. If you know someone that needs this, you can also share. The other thing is, if you're watching it later, just put hashtag replay in the comments. If you missed part and you want to go back to the beginning, you are welcome to do that too. We're going to do a quick replay and get you out of here. All right, we're talking about 5 tips for a better new year, because you deserve it. And the only way you're going to get a better new year, or the best way to get a better new year, is actually to believe it could be a better year. Be intentional. Happy accidents are great, but I don't know if you're going to happy accident into the year you want. The next is you're going to put together a plan, and we've talked about some steps to do with the plan. You're going to write it down so that it gets ingrained in your memory, but also so you can refer back to it and remember what you're even planning. The next number 5 is utilize accountability partners so that you have someone to hold you accountable and to help you. The reason we're doing that is because we're going to do two specific things. We're going to write down, you can do it as like a big square and then have places on a piece of paper. You can do it as lists on your documents, on your computer, tablet, whatever you like to do, your phone. You're going to do a spot for mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. Excuse the typo for social health. And just list down there some steps you're going to take to make it better. Appointments, people you need to see, who's going to be on your team, actions you're going to take, and just list them so that you can start thinking ahead and plan of how you're going to have optimal mental, physical, and spiritual health. Then the next thing is you're going to do personal and professional goals. You can put a line straight down the middle of a paper or straight across the middle horizontally, or you can do this on an electronic device. I can't talk. Put personal and professional goals. List 1 to 3. We said 1 to 3. I'm not having you put every single goal here because we're not going all the way down a rabbit hole. And then you're going to utilize the Better 7 principle of support and start listing ways that you're going to get support and help, be it hired help, be it people that already work with you, people you already hired, friends, family, how you're going to get support. And some of it can be tasks, some of it can actually be delegation, some of it may be just having an ear or someone to even cheer for you and say you can do it and you're great and remind you when it gets tough. But I want you to think of how you can utilize support and other people to support and help you through. Because part of the reason we're doing this is this quote: though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. And we're here to help you have a brand new ending because we're going to have a brand new year. It is only January 10th, so we have a whole lot of time yet to make this year great, and I want you to do that. So thanks again for joining. I appreciate you hopping on. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, double board certified Harvard trained psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I'm on a mission and extremely irrationally passionate about helping you be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry. My books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy, my podcast, and my speaking. And my podcast is Better with Dr. Ericka. I do all of this to help all of you that pour into everyone else and show up for everyone but yourself. I do this to put you back in your life. Thanks again. You know you can find me on Growth Group with Dr. Ericka on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find me right here, usually in this spot right here, and I'm here for you. The next thing, if you start missing me, is you can always go back and look at some past content because, you know, I've been doing this for years. I have recordings. The next thing is if you start missing me or you're just interested in some other things or want to hear a little bit more of Dr. Ericka in a different format, you know, I have the podcast Better with Dr. Ericka. You can find it on all podcast platforms or go to betterthepodcast.com. I want to let you know that we're putting out some new content, even though we are in between season 3 and season 4. I'll have some new content and some new episodes releasing next week. So if you subscribe to the podcast or follow it, you will actually get notified so that you'll know when all the bonuses drop. And you'll also then know when season 4 is about to come because I have some fire episodes already recorded for season 4. I just want to send a little love out there, just let you know I'm thinking about you and let you know how important you are to me and how much it means to me that you show up for me. I want you to take your left hand, put on your right arm, take your right hand, put on your left arm. Give yourself a big squeeze because you deserve it. I want you to have a great day, great week. I will see you back here Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So have a great day. Actually, have a better day. Take care. Bye-bye.